where one of Africa's biggest tourism showcases is set to kick off today. Africa's Travel Indaba is back at the Inkosi Luthuli International Convention Center, bringing together hundreds of tourism operators, international buyers, and even government leaders from across the continent. This year's event opens with big promises, especially a 6.5 million rand investment aimed at improving air access to boost travel to South Africa. But there are growing calls for that investment to benefit more than just the usual hotspots. Nobuhle Modise is at the ICC with more on what's at stake this year. Nobuhle, let's just unpack exactly what we anticipate out of this Indaba as well, and what we could see coming through today.
Indeed, good morning, Arabile. So you'd remember that in President Cyril Ramaphosa's State of the Nation address, he mentioned, he positioned tourism as of national importance. And with that, we also saw a huge investment into air access of 6.5 million rand. But the industry has, asked that is done with caution and not to benefit the usual hotspots like your Kruger National Park in Cape Town, but to be all-inclusive of all provinces in the country. But we also know that this Travel Indaba also comes in the backdrop of news from the US, where President Donald Trump is continuing with utterances where he's saying that white Afrikaners in South Africa are facing genocide, and this could also have ramifications in terms of people who are coming into the country. So I do want to bring into the conversation Thembisile Sihluhu, who is the Chief Marketing Officer of South African Tourism, and maybe she can take us through, number one, these cautions from the industry around this recent investment into air access to benefit all provinces and not just the usual hotspots.
So that is right. Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity. It is correct. I mean, we are in the process of driving geographical spread. We do understand that tourism growth is not just going to come from the usual hotspots. We have to, advertise and market the whole country. So if we want to drive rural and township tourism, we're going to have to go deep into the country and drive the unusual provinces, the Northern Cape, the Free State, all these provinces that have beautiful hidden gems for travel. So that's really what we're focusing on. We have a beautiful country, 9 provinces, 9 beautiful languages. So the experience that you have as a traveler, if you come to our country, when you come to our country, not if, is vast and really enriching and really unique experience.
The Travel Indaba is also about the continent, so they get the opportunity here to kind of, put their products onto the market. And last year, that theme being Unlimited Africa. What is the theme this year, and what are some of the campaigns that you're working on?
We've continued with the Unlimited Africa, so it is a Pan-African show, because as South Africa, we believe that a working tourism economy in South Africa, in Africa, will be a working tourism economy in Africa. So we have a growth of 9% from countries coming out of Africa. So we are really excited because new countries, smaller countries like Burkina Faso, are participating in this year's Travel Indaba. So it is about driving the African tourism story, because we do believe that when you start to collaborate as Africa from a tourism perspective, we are co-creating, we are not competing. So when somebody lands in Ghana, they need to know that they're South Africa and they do the next stop South Africa. So it's really driving that whole economy, copying models like Europe, where you go from one country to another. That's what we want to do for Africa in terms of driving that. And in that, we change the narrative around the economic impact of tourism for the whole of Africa, not just for South Africa.
And then lastly, Thembisile, let's discuss the elephant in the room, the recent utterances by the US president. How does this affect all this effort that's being done here? What does this mean for tourists coming into the country to hear that there's a certain group of people that may be facing a genocide? How is this going to affect the workings around, promoting South Africa as a tourist destination?
I think our focus as a destination marketing company is really about focusing on South Africa's destination. So we're not diplomacy. So we really are focusing on marketing South Africa. If you see our new campaign where we say South Africa really awaits, open-handed, full of Ubuntu. We were saying to traveler, come and find your joy in South Africa, as you can see it around you. That's really our focus. It's a positive story of South Africa. With these things, it's about us telling our narrative in an authentic, truthful way, and that's really our focus from a marketing perspective. And at the moment, I mean, really, we haven't seen any impact on that. So really, people are flocking to Africa, even people from America coming to South Africa. So the focus continues. It's a positive story of South Africa. We all know that South Africa is a beautiful country. We all know that in South Africa, there's just endless possibilities in terms of what travelers can explore, and that's really our focus as a destination marketing brand.
Thank you very much. That is Tembisile Sihluhu. She is the Chief Marketing Officer at South African Tourism, and you heard her there saying, South Africa waits, come find your joy. Back to you, Arabile.